20 years ago, at the age of 13, I was part of the Blueprint Leadership Academy. I was in middle school, and I don't know if I was being bullied or what the case was, but I had enough. The pain of life was starting to get a little bit too much for me.
Philip's dad and me graduated together, so we've known each other a long time, since we were like in the first grade. And I ran into Philip's mom, and she said, I just read something in the paper about you starting a mentoring program. I said, yeah, I'm going to be doing a summer enrichment program. And she says, I need your help. And I says, what's going on? She says, well, I don't know if you met my son, Philip, but Philip is dealing with some issues where he tried to take his life.
There was a voice that ran in my head that said, go ahead, and that's end it all.
He tried to take his life twice at that time. And I said, oh no. She said, yeah, he has a little speech impediment and the kids have been bullying him and he don't want to go to school and he's thrown himself in front of a car twice. By the blessing of God, he didn't get hit.
When I was about to allow a car to run over me in the middle school parking lot, I felt somebody pulling me back, and I looked up, and it was Mr. Parker.
We just clicked right out of the back. I mean, we just connected and just told him how special he was, and he's got a lot to offer. And everybody is created for a reason. And as soon as, he finds out what his reason is, and he can move forward. And I told him we all got strength and we all got weaknesses.
Me, I never saw the leader in me. But as soon as I got through that program, I understood, and I saw what Mr. Blueprint saw in me, which was a leader, and started helping me to develop those leadership qualities that I never saw. Or before, I just saw a young man who was highly functioning disabled, didn't really have much going for him.
We moved forward that summer. He was in the program, and he just started working on his self-esteem and self-love, and we started working on what you call a day-to-day goal. And he just started moving forward with his confidence and self-love. And
I had a problem with low self-esteem, self-love, and all sorts of stuff I was dealing with. But as I was going through that program, I started noticing some changes. And I started noticing that I started to love who I was.
All of a sudden, when I told him when somebody says something that you don't like, just tell them you'll keep them in prayer, or you'll pray for them. And so, unfortunately, that worked. And then my son came down, so him and my son, they got really close. And Philip just moved on down the road and developed his self-skills and self-esteem, and he's doing well for himself.
Each of us have a purpose, but sometimes we don't see the purpose in ourselves. So it had to take somebody else to bring that out. And the person that it had to take to help me to get out of my suicidal and low self-esteem and things of that was Mr. Blueprint.
He has 2 jobs. He's got his permit. He hadn't gotten his driver's license yet. He pays for his overhead every month. He takes care of his responsibility. He lives with his mom and dad, but now, he says to me about a week ago, he says he's going to move out. He's going to get him a place down closer to work. And he says, one day, he'd like to have a girlfriend and raise a family. So he's moving on. He's 32 years old.
I don't just look at him as a mentor. To me, he also like family, because no matter what I was dealing with, I always know I had somebody in my corner.
He would get a little discouraged because he had a reading deficiency, and so when we started we did quite a bit of one-on-one with Phillip. Well, it would be one-on-one. It would be him and another person. And so it was a process with Phillip. But, he continued to work and he was determined to get better. But he saw the love that we were giving him and attention. And nobody, I was mostly there 4 days a week. So we showed him love and patience.
And even after I was finished with the program, he stuck with me until up to now.
So, things were going well. So what we did at Blueprint Leadership Academy, we had like an exam that we would give the young men and young ladies. And most of the people that came to us came through the guidance council or teachers at the different schools. Those were the young men and young ladies. And we didn't get a young man or young lady that needed help, because I feel as though every young man and young lady could use some life skills. So we had people that were making C's and D's or an F, and all of a sudden they're making A's once they started working on their self-esteem, self-worth, and develop confidence in themselves. That's one of the things that we stress. Every day we would go over our 10 principles, and which are those 10 principles that you have on that card. We would read those in the class, and I would say, each young man and young lady got to take something from this on a daily basis and put it in your life. And that's how we build our program. And then my instructors that I had were committed. They enjoy working with the young men and young ladies, because we work with kids from 2nd grade on up through middle school.
There is a leader inside you, but you just gotta have the right people to bring that out of you.
But the thing about it is, they saw the love for me, the teachers, and the people that work with Blueprint Leadership Academy. That was very important to every young man and young lady, because they wanted to be there. And I had, in 2003, I had 12 foster kids. I had 8 girls and 4 boys. And they would come all the way from King Street, South Carolina, to the Choppy Complex. And those young men and young ladies, the first day they came there, they didn't want to be there. And after when it was time to go, they didn't want to leave. And they never wanted to be nowhere. They were all, the 8 girls and the 4 guys, they were just amazing on how they were able to excel.
Myself and somebody else, we had developed a group of our own that kind of help young adults like myself and adults also.
It's truly a blessing, because Phillip has got a good heart, and just like with his little nephews, he's got 3 nephews, and their dad are not in their life. His father is like a dad/granddad, and Phillip is like a big brother. And his sister, she was married and she's divorced. She's younger than him, and so he's got 3 young men that looks up to him on a daily basis. So on top of these young ladies that he's working with, he got them in the house with him, and they think the world of their Uncle Phillip. So that makes me feel really good, knowing what he's doing, and he's going to continue to do good, because he's a good person.
And God will put the right people in your life to help you, but first you got to understand that you need help. Because if you don't understand that you need help, then how can you get the help you need? Because if you don't realize that's the first step, you just got to admit and say to yourself, I need it. I need help. And a lot of young people don't want to do that.
You got to believe in yourself and realize that you're worthy. And once they realize that they're worthy, they want to excel. We help them with their self-confidence.
There are places out here that will help you, especially like Blueprint Leadership Academy. But first, you gotta understand that you need help. So I would tell any young person from elementary school, middle, or even high school, if you need help and if you need a place to go, reach out to the Blueprint. Because, hey, it's not just a leadership academy. It's it's, to me, it's a life academy, because he prepared you not for just for leadership. He prepared you for life. So if you need help, let's read out the mental blueprint, because hey, all of us need it. But the question is, would you admit to yourself that you need help?
Everybody has certain skill sets that they have, just like it's your skill set. And everybody's got something special to do. You'd be surprised. You can look down the road from where you live, there might be somebody that you can mentor. You know, I tell people all the time, there's always somebody you can help. You just gotta look around. You just gotta look around.